I Board Member Kirkbride. I'm pinging her. Give me just a moment, please. Board Member Kirkbride, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, President Joyce, we're all set.
Okay, the board will now vote on cases including proposed disciplinary actions against licensees, registrants with staff member Efremoff. If a board member would like a motion to be read separately, please state your request, including the case number before the motion is read. We will continue our discussion. Oh, go ahead.
Case number 2025-0105, is there a motion to approve request and extend date to take and pass NPJE to 10/6/2025?
So moved. Board Member Chen.
And Board Member Hall?
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
President Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Vice President Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Canada,
Yes.
Board Member Smith. Yes. Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2022-0380, is there a motion to close case?
So moved. Board Member Chen. Seconded. Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Canada,
Yes.
Member Smith. Yes. Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0235, is there a motion to withdraw the 6/13/2025 motion for case 2024-0235 and motion to close case in case 2025-0235?
So moved. Board Member Chen. Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
Board President Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Vice President Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pineda,
Yes. Board Member Pinedo, we didn't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you.
and Board Member Smith. Yes. Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Does Board Member Kroger recuse?
Board Member Kroger recuses from case 2025-0259 and 2025-0260 for potential financial bias for a business I'm associated with.
Case 2025-0259 and 2025-0260. Is there a motion to withdraw the 6/13/2025 motion for case 2024-0259 and case 2024-0260 and motion to close case in 2025-0259 and 2025-0260?
Move Board Member Hall. Second. Board Member Chen.
Board Member Chen, Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Kroger is recused. Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pineda,
Yes.
Board Member Smith. Yes. Passes with Board Member Kroger recused.
Case 2025-0207, is there a motion to deny technician license and impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for 2 violations and offer a consent order to deny technician license?
So moved. Board Member Kroger.
And Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pineda,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Case 2025-0355, is there a motion to deny technician license and offer a consent order to grant technician license, impose probation to comply with the terms of criminal case probation, complete 3 hours of CPE and law and ethics, no new violations, and probationary term to end upon proof satisfactory to the Board of Completion of Criminal Case Probation?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
Second Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Benito. Any other?
Yes.
Board Member Smith?
Yes.
Excellent. Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0359, is there a motion to grant pharmacist license and close case with board direction?
So moved, Board Member Kroger.
Second Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Benito,
Yes.
Board Member Smith? Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0410, is there a motion to grant registration and close case with board direction?
Move Board Member Hall.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Benito,
Yes.
Board Member Smith?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0166, is there a motion to impose probation until 11/7/2027 and require compliance with California order terms and authorize early termination only if California terminates early, and offer a consent order to impose probation until 11/7/2027 and require compliance with California order terms and allow earlier termination only if California terminates early?
So moved, Board Member Kroger.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Benito,
Yes.
Board Member Smith? Motion carries unanimously.
2025-0184, is there a motion to impose a $10,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $10,000 civil penalty, stay $10,000 pending no similar violations for 3 years?
So move Board Member Chin. Second Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Benito,
Yes.
Board Member Smith?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0285, is there a motion to impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, stay $1,000 pending no similar violations for 3 years?
Move Board Member Hall.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Oppose.
Benito,
Yes.
Board Member Smith?
Yes.
Motion passes with Board Member Patel opposed.
Case 2025-0409, is there a motion to close case with board direction?
So move Board Member Chin. Second Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
No.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Benito,
No.
Board Member Smith?
No.
All right, we have a 4-4. Would anybody like to propose a new motion?
We can try the second motion. Is there a motion?
Is there a second motion? or new
Not
motion?
passed, we could try this one.
Oh, a second motion for this one, okay. The second motion is,
Reread it.
have Bree read it. It's
Case
4-4.
2025-0409, is there a motion to close case?
So moved, Board Member Kroger.
Second, Board Member Joyce. Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Patel,
Opposed.
Board Benito,
Yes.
Board Member Smith? Motion passes with Board Member Patel opposed.
Does Board Member Patel recuse?
Board Member Patel recuses from case number 2025-0273 and 2025-0274 for potential bias.
Case 2025-0273 and 2025-0274. Is there a motion to close case?
So moved, Board Member Kroger and Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin, Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel is recused. Board Member Vignetto,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes with Board Member Patel recused.
Case 2025-0265. Is there a motion to impose a $2,500 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $2,500 civil penalty, stay $2,500 pending no similar violations for 3 years?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
Seconded, Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
So yes.
Board Member Vignetto,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Case 2025-0620. Is there a motion to impose a $2,500 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $2,500 civil penalty, stay $2,500 pending no similar violations for 3 years?
So moved, Board Member Hall.
Seconded, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Vignetto,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2022-0030. Is there a motion to close case with board direction?
Move Board Member Joyce.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Vignetto,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Board Member Kroger recuse.
Board Member Kroger recuses from case 2024-0296 for potential bias.
Case 2024-0296. Is there a motion to revoke pharmacist license and impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to revoke pharmacist license?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
And Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Used.
I apologize, recused, okay. Patel, Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Vignetto,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes with Board Member Kroger recused.
Does Board Member Patel recuse?
Member Patel recuses from case number 2025-0021 and 2025-0366 for potential witness.
Case 2025-0021. Is there a motion to impose a $10,000 civil penalty per violation for 3 violations and offer a consent order to impose a $30,000 civil penalty, stay $30,000 pending no further violations for 3 years? And in case 2025-0366, is there a motion to revoke pharmacist license and impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for 2 violations and offer a consent order to impose $2,000 civil penalty, stay $2,000 pending no similar violations for 3 years, and take and complete board-approved PIC training program within 30 days?
So moved, Board Member Kroger.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel is recused. Board Member Vignetto,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes with Board Member Patel recused.
Case 2025-0013. Is there a motion to revoke technician license and impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for 2 violations and offer a consent order to revoke technician license? And in case 2025-0714, is there a motion to close case?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
Second, Board Member Chin.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Canado,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
2025-0394, is there a motion to revoke pharmacist license?
So moved, Board Member Hall.
Seconded, Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kruger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Banana,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2022-0423 and 2025-0496, is there a motion to close case?
So moved, Board Member Joyce.
Seconded, Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Banana,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0289 and 2025-0619, is there a motion to close case?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
Seconded, Board Member Joyce. Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Member Patel, yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Does Board Member Kirkbride recuse?
Board Member Kirkbride recuses from case number 2023-0709 and 2023-0710 for potential bias.
Case 2023-0709, is there a motion to close case? And in case 2023-0710, is there a motion to impose a $500 civil penalty per violation for 2 violations and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, stay $500 pending no similar violations for 3 years and 3 hours in CPE and law and ethics?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride's recused. Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes with Board Member Kirkbride recused.
Case 2024-0951, is there a motion to impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for 1 violation and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, stay $500 pending no similar violations for 3 years and 3 hours of CPE and patient safety?
So moved, Board Member Smith.
And Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Board Member Hall, can we read this one separately?
Case 2022-0395, is there a motion to close case with board direction?
So moved, Board Member Kroger. And Board Member Hall.
Need a minute?
That we're reading them separately, I think. Second.
Table it till the end.
I'm good.
So Board Member Chin,
I'm opposed.
Board Member Joyce opposed, Board Member Hall,
Opposed.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Opposed.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Okay. Would somebody like to propose a different motion? There are 4. Or we're gonna read the second one separately? It's 2 different cases.
Page 20. So in the first, on case 2022-0395, I motion, 1 violation, $1,000 stay, $500 3 hours, in patient, safety. And Board Member Chin?
Board Member Chin?
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Member Kroger,
No.
Board Member Patel,
Opposed?
Member Pineda,
Yes.
that was a pass.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, I apologize. Yes, for Board Member Pineda. Board Member Smith?
Oh,
No. So we have motion passing with board members Kroger and Patel and board member Smith opposed. Is that accurate?
Yes. We're gonna move on to the,
Case 23.
Case 2025-0551, is there a motion to close case with board direction?
So moved. So moved, Board Member Kroger and Board Member Hall.
Board Chin,
oppose,
board member Joyce, yes. Board member Hall,
Yes.
board member Kirkbride,
Opposed.
board member Kroger,
Yes.
board member Patel,
Yes.
board member Pineda,
Yes.
board member Smith.
yes.
Motion passes with board members Chin and Kirkbride opposed.
Case 2022-0529 and 2025-0543, is there a motion to close case with board direction?
So move Board Member Smith.
and Board Member Chin?
Board member Chin,
Yes.
board member Joyce opposed. Board member Hall,
Yes.
board member Kirkbride,
Yes.
board member Kroger,
Yes.
board member Patel,
Yes.
board member Pineda,
Yes.
board member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes, board member Joyce opposed.
It's 2024-0754, is there a motion to impose a $10,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer consent order to impose a $10,000 civil penalty, state $9,000 pending no similar violations for 3 years? And in case 2025-0439, is there a motion to impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, state $500 pending no similar violations for 3 years and 3 hours of CPE and patient safety or medication error prevention?
Motion, Board Member Chin?
Board Member Smith.
Board member Hall, I'm sorry, let me start over. Board member Chin,
Yes.
board member Joyce opposed, board member Hall,
Yes.
board member Kirkbride,
Yes.
board member Kroger,
Yes.
board member Patel,
Yes.
board member Pineda,
Yes.
board member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes, board member Joyce opposed.
2025-0261, is there a motion to impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, state $500 pending no similar violations for 3 years and 3 hours of CPE and patient safety or medication error prevention?
Board member Joyce,
The Board Member Chin?
board member Chin,
Yes.
board member Joyce, yes, board member Hall,
Opposed?
board member Kirkbride,
Yes.
board member Kroger,
Opposed?
board member Patel,
Member Patel opposed.
board member Pineda,
Board Member Pinedo opposed.
board member Smith.
Opposed.
Motion fails. Do we introduce a new motion or just motion fails?
Yeah.
Operating motion, if anyone would like to propose one?
Anyone want to propose a new motion that we can, agree on? We can vote on at least. These terms are not, appropriate.
Board Member Smith, move to close case.
Anybody want a second? Closing case,
Second, Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Chin,
Opposed?
Board Joyce opposed. Board Hall. Board Member Kirkbride,
Opposed.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Patel,
Yes.
Board Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes with board members Chin, Joyce, Kirkbride opposed.
Case 2025-0344 and 2025-0591. Is there a motion to close case with board direction?
Move Board Member Joyce.
Seconded, Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Hall, I'm sorry, Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2022-1033. Is there a motion to impose a $500 civil penalty per violation for 10 violations, $1,000 civil penalty per violation for 1 violation, and offer a consent order to impose a $2,000 civil penalty, stay $2,000 pending no further violations for 3 years?
So moved, Board Member Kroger.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Opposed?
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes with Board Member Patel opposed.
Case 2025-0179. Is there a motion to close case?
Move Board Member Joyce.
Second, Board Member Chin.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Case 2020-0173, 2021-0102, 2022-0032, 2022-0035, 2022-0311, 2022-0312, 2022-0821, and 2022-0880. Is there a motion to close case?
So move, Board Member Smith. Sorry.
Seconded Board Member Joyce. Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0453 and 2025-0528. Is there a motion to accept request to lapse intern license?
So moved, Board Member Kroger.
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0296 and 2025-0298. Is there a motion to impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for 2 violations and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, stay $800 pending no further violations for 6 years, and submission of CPE licensee was short in the audit that may not be applied to the next license renewal?
Move, Board Member Hall.
Second, Board Member Chin.
Board Member Chin, Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith. Motion carries unanimously.
2025-0459, 2025-0497, 2025-0498, 2025-0552, 2025-0553, 2025-0571, 2025-0576, and 2025-0578. Is there a motion to ratify case closure?
Move Board Member Joyce,
And Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chin,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pinero,
Yes.
Board Member Smith,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Case 2025-0200 and 2025-0293. Is there a motion to grant technician license and impose a $1,000 civil penalty per violation for one violation and offer a consent order to impose a $1,000 civil penalty, state $850 pending no further violations for 3 years, and earn and submit 3 hours of CPE in pharmacy law or ethics?
So move over board member Chin.
Board Member Hall.
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pineda,
Yes.
Board Member Smith,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
2025-0192. Is there a motion to ratify signed stipulated consent order?
Board Member Joyce,
Second, Board Member Smith.
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pineda,
Yes.
Board Member Smith,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Does Board Member Kroger recuse?
Board Member Kroger recuses from cases 2022-0516, 2022-0515, 2022-0587, 2022-1054, 2025-0396 for potential financial bias with a business I am associated with.
Cases 2022-0516, 2022-0515, 2022-0587, 2022-1054, and 2025-0396. Is there a motion to close case?
Move Board Member Joyce,
Second, board member Chin.
Board Member Chen, yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes. You voted for me, Joyce. I'll do it for you.
Board Member Chen,
Yes.
Board Member Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger's recused, Board Member Patel,
Yes.
Board Member Pineda,
Yes.
Board Member Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries with Board Member Kroger recused.
Is there a motion to accept the items on the consent agenda?
So move Board Member Joyce.
Second, board member Chin.
Board Member Chen,
Chin, yes.
Board Joyce, yes. Board Member Hall,
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride,
Yes.
Board Member Kroger,
Yes.
Board Member Patel. Board Member Pineda,
Yes.
Board Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Right. So, we will now continue our this robust discussion on proposed drug compounding rules. Take it away.
Executive Director Onion. We'll see how this goes after lunch. I feel like I need some smelling salts or.
Executive Bell has been.
All right, so we'll pick back up compounding discussion, starting section 183-0400. And that involves labeling for compounded non-sterile preparations, or again, CNSPs. As previously mentioned, we have the opportunity to implement whatever effective date the board feels necessary, and this will be present in subsequent sections as well. So I won't belabor this point, and just understand that when you see the effective date, it's just the continued thread of the similar conversations we've had. I'll read the rules now. In addition to the labeling requirements specified in USP 795, version 11/1/2022, OAR 855041, and further divisions 43, 139, the label of a CNSP must prominently and legibly contain the following at a minimum. Parent 1, the strength of each active ingredient. Parent 2, the route of administration. 3, indication that the preparation is compounded. 4, handling, storage, or drug-specific instructions, cautionary information, and warnings as necessary or appropriate for proper use and patient safety. 5, compounding facility name and contact information if the CNSP is to be sent outside of the facility or healthcare system in which it was compounded. President Joyce, I'll turn it back to you for discussion.
for this section, I'll just start off, in a little different order last time. Vice President Kirkbride, why don't you start us off with any comments for this section?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, looking at our current rules, like a very obvious thing that was removed was the name of each ingredient in the compound, and is that presumed to be because it's included in the strength? It's just not called out separately, so that was noticeable to me. Like item 1 is going to be each active ingredient and the strength.
Executive Director, I mean, I can take a moment to look up and see, compare that to what labeling requirements are specified in USP 795 to triangulate this requirement between those three.
I'm assuming we just consolidated that into one line. That's kind of what it looks like to me, but.
Executive Director running. So it appears that per 795 and the minimum requirements for labeling would include strength or quantity. So are you Vice President Kirkbride asking why we spelled that out in rule in parent 1 if it's already a component of those minimum labeling requirements in 795?
Somebody's cheating over there.
No, my question was more for wording. So when I compare our current rule to this proposed rule, previously it was listed as name and then a second item as strength. So I was just curious why we didn't say name and strength and we just said the strength.
Executive Director running. So I suppose that, and I'm just making an inference here. It says the strength of each active ingredient. I think the name would be implied if you're listing the strength because it would have to be attached or associated with the name of the ingredient. Although if that's the case, I agree, we could probably make that a little more clear.
Remember, Patel, I think as I recall, I don't know whether it was a work group discussion or it was the public session rulemaking, but I think it has to do with the labeling requirement. It was something is like, it will be way too big label that it will enable to be trained or something like that. So I think so you cannot keep all the active ingredient name and strength, everything on the label. If you don't exactly remember, but it has something to do with that one too. And then we just say whatever is the USP requirement was, and then we landed on whatever required by the USP, something like that.
I mean, per this though, the name, like it can't just be a series of strengths. The name as Executive Director Runyon pointed out, like the name is going to have to be included. So I don't think, if that's the goal, I don't think this reduces the requirement for the label, because you're still going to have to call out, I think, the name along with the strength. It just seemed like a weird omission to me, but maybe it's just me.
This is one of our, so usually, they also go, like, let's say, this magic mouthwash, right? They just say MMW, and then you just write down the strength. And if you go to the master formulation, what that MMW percentage wise, you can see in the master formulation, whatever the active ingredient name and the strength. That was, I think, the thinking was, but I don't 100% remember. But sometimes you just write down the main ingredient and you write down the strength. And if you want to know the whole active ingredient and their name of that active, inactive ingredient and the strength, then you go to master formulation and you can refer that.
Board President Joyce, so staff member Melvin, can show us links to the comments and meeting minutes from previous compounding work, the previous compounding work group, and comments, public comment, and there's like pages and pages, years actually worth of comments that are linked to the specific ORSs that we're looking at, or OARs that we're looking at. And so that's very helpful because specifically it addresses whichever section we're looking at, and the comment is linked to that. When do you want to share that with us, or?
Whenever you would like. And this is all public information that's on our website. It's in a resource folder in your Teams. It used to be in our rulemaking folder, but during our break, I pulled it out, and you have a drug compounding folder in resources. And I have put them in there by year, starting in 2023, the board meeting minutes, the mailings, all the public comments received when the board did send these out for public comment. So I consolidated everything for you. It's sort of a one-stop shop. And then there are other versions of every version we've ever showed of the compounding rules. And Board Member Kroger, it may help answer some questions that you had earlier as well, as far as what was being stricken from Division 45, what was being inserted, because that's how we were doing it at that time.
Alrighty. Go ahead, Vice President Kirkbride, wanted to expand on what you were talking about.
I mean, that's really all I had. Like, it just seems odd. Like, if you took this to the letter, you could have like a line that's just a series of strengths with no names. It seemed odd to me to not say name and strength. But if it doesn't bother anyone else, there's a lot to go over here, so.
Pinedo?
Board Member Pinedo, nothing to add.
Board President Joyce, at this time, as written, I don't see anything that is troublesome or unclear to me. Board Member Chin?
This Board Member Chin, and I'm just trying to think like Board Member Kroger, that about being prescriptive and what, this is just normal stuff that I would assume you put on a label, but if you need to be prescriptive and rule, then I don't see any problems with what's there.
Board Member Patel?
Remember, Michelle. So the other thing is, like, we also have labeling requirement for non-compounded prescriptions too. So we have that labeling requirement. Then we have compounded prescription labeling requirement. So I guess there's a different labeling requirement for non-compounding. It also includes the name of the drug. I don't know, do we really need this specific labeling requirement for compounding non-sterile and sterile? And then there is another labeling requirement for non-compounded prescription. It's like lots of labeling. Right?
Executive Director Runyon, while you entertain that thought, one option, if so directed, I think an easy solution to this would be to simply use the language that we had in Division 43 or 45, sorry, with this. And what we could do is say, parent one, the generic or official name and strength of each active ingredient might be an easy solution for that.
Staff member Ekman, you might want to think in regard to compounding, sometimes you're using API, so you might want to not necessarily use the generic name. It might just be simple enough to get away with, I think what Kroger was saying, go together.
Yeah, I was just saying, this is where he's pulling generic and official from our current.
Even just, if it's more simple, just even the strength and name of each active. That's what needed.
Okay.
But, so do you want me to amend this or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Board member Kroger, I actually, this might shock some people, but like,
Away.
I almost feel like so throughout the rules, we're referencing OAR 855-041, 043, 139. And like I said before, I don't like scavenger hunts within rules. I would, for this, perhaps like it absolutely spelt out what is needed on a compounded prescription, whether it's retail drug outlet or hospital drug, whatever it is, and have it a bit more specific within this rule so that it is a one-stop shop of what is actually required on a compounded product. Now I understand there's parenteral admixtures and IV bags, et cetera, but like, as I started kind of going through those other OERs, not everything that's required for some of those label it, like, that's where I think the confusion might be. Like, if we're referencing those other rules for non-compounded products, it's all of that plus all of this, and I don't think that all makes sense. So maybe be a bit more prescriptive here. This is what's required on the label, USP plus everything here. And if we need to parse out for inpatient, outpatient, parenteral, whatever other unique situations that I can't imagine, I would prefer that it's spelled out here versus referencing the other OARs listed, because that's where I started getting confused. Like when I looked at, there's a lot more requirements within those other OARs for labels that I don't think would always make sense for a compounded product. Maybe yes, maybe no, I'm not the expert, but I think if it's spelled out here, then we don't have to worry about, well, hey, this compounded product. Yeah, so that's, like I said, be a bit more prescriptive here, shocking, but that it's really clear on exactly what we're expecting of a compounded product in those various settings, because there's different requirements for a retail drug outlet label and an institutional label. And it seems like there's quite a bit to interpret if I were a licensee in those situations. And then we can clarify, yes, because the other ones do say drug name, right? So were we trying to remove stuff here because it was a duplicate of what's in the other divisions, perhaps? But I think maybe having it all right here would make it super clear.
Very good. Board Member Smith.
Board Member Smith. So one thing I have seen, and I think this is kind of what this is getting at is, I have seen where it is just like the label comes across, like just the standard label that will generate is like magic mouthwash, and then there's no indication of what those things are. And I think it's good to have like more of a breakdown on what is in the medication. But I could also see too where, like, if you are printing a label, I could see things get like cut off. So I think it's a kind of a weird situation, but I think also too, the other labeling requirements kind of come into play, and it makes it so it's like, I feel like that's already kind of required, and I don't know if it needs to be stated verbatim here again. But if it did, I can also see where it does make it a lot easier just to, if you're trying to, look at the law, understand kind of as best you can and easy understanding. I think just adding like the strength and name of each active ingredient, it does make sense to me just to have that on here and it's on one place. And I think that does make it a little more easy to understand.
Board Member Hall.
Member Hall, nothing really else to add. I agree, we should say name and strength. That's it.
So, question for board members. I mean, do you see this as like what's already on the labeling safety rules? Labeling safety committee or isn't this already kind of standard? I don't know. Patient safety labeling. There's any other comments or questions or clarity needed for this section?
Board Member Kirkbride, I do have one more comment regarding para 3, indication that the preparation is compounded. Is there some sort of standard we're using? Like, is it the word compound or what is the standard indication that something is compounded?
Board Member Smith, I think for the FDA, we have to mark, I know at the pharmacy that I work at that does compounds, every compounded medication does have the label like compounded medication on there. And then there's an additional FDA worksheet that we give the patient to kind of let them know it is a compounded medication and kind of the like terms and conditions that come with that. And I believe it's an FDA policy. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like pretty sure that's the reasoning behind it.
So for those of you that do the work, is this line clear? Would this line be clear to someone just starting this practice, like what that indication would be?
Member Hall, I kind of struggled with that one too. I just figure people working there would know that someone coming in from the outside, how would they know? If it was compounded, I don't know for sure.
So,
Board
board
member.
members. Oh, go ahead.
Board Member Binetto, when we do non-sterile compounding as to do like a magic mouthwash or a nystatin mouthwash combined with OTC ingredients, we have to put the 1 per 1 per 1 and state on the patient's label that this is a compounded product and the expiration date. So it has to specifically say this is a compounded product on the label.
Is that what Board Member Smith was referencing as far as the FDA requirement, or is that your institution's requirement? I'm playing devil's advocate here, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, no,
This may not be clear to everyone, what item, what parent 3 is asking for? And should we make that more consistent, or is it fine as it is? Are the inspectors fine with seeing a variety of options?
This is Board President Joyce. I mean, reading that quote, indication that the preparation is compounded. I mean, to me, it seems clear as to like what Board Member Pineda was saying. On the label, it says, you know, the ingredients and the ratio and the portion and everything, and it says this medication is compounded. Just the wording for the semantics on this. I mean, to me, as someone who's compounded, I can, it's clear to me, but I understand what you're saying, someone that's not in, or, are you talking about like a patient that might be confused?
Mostly my concern is for licensees and compliance, that they know what their label needs to read, and no one's going to get in trouble if they have one word different from what the inspectors are looking for. So if there is a standard statement that's FDA that everyone uses, like that's great. If there's a variety of words, then I just want to make sure, you know, from a compliance standpoint, we know that that's not an exact phrase that we're looking for.
Board Smith, do you have, does it say this medication is compounded on your labels or?
Board Member Smith, I believe it does, yes.
Executive Director Running. So one thing I might point out here is it just as an indication that the preparation is compounded. It doesn't say statement that the preparation is compounded. So what that looks like from chain to chain or institution to institution may differ. Is it an asterisk that then lists out the ingredients with a colon separating them? Is it just an asterisk? Is it some other special character? Does it say the word compound? I'm not aware that there is any explicit prescription for that sort of thing in any of the regulations that I've seen. So I'd just like to point that out. It says indication, not necessarily statement. So that may not necessarily involve a certain combination of words. So I don't think, and Staff Member Efremov, you could correct me if I'm wrong here, that there is any standard thing that the compliance officers are looking for to satisfy that, other than that it's satisfied in some way.
Saying yes, we've seen a variety of different ways the different institutions do it, and I do believe also it is an FDA requirement. We've seen this for many years. This is not a new thing.
So Board Member Patel, so you're right. So it don't have to be statement. So you can, instead of write down full word compound, because you have to remember, labels are tiny. You can't write down everything, on that label. So you are saying, that member Efremov, that instead of write down compounded naltrexone, can I just write down COMPD, like short version, and say naltrexone? Would that suffice, or do I have to write down statement or compounded? It's on the label, or you can say naltrexone 1.25 milligram, and you go to the master formulation, and that one will indicate that, hey, this is compounded naltrexone, because it's not even available in the market as a 1.25 milligram. Know what I mean?
Yeah, staff member Efremov, I think that is for the board to decide. So what staff does is we collect information, and then you all get the wonderful duty of deciding does that fit the rule and the requirement. I will say, I have seen a lot of times people just have an auxiliary sticker that says compounded that they throw on, so it's just easy. The labels are, the real estate on the labels are really valuable, so. But if you have different ways of doing it too, I think meeting the intention would be something to assess, right? Thanks.
Board Kroger?
Board Member Kroger, I think this, great segue, Bree. The way that this is written, the label must have that, as opposed to the product must be labeled with. And that, I think, like you said, there's different ways of indicating that the product is a compound. Now, is this going to cause an issue when we say the label must have that versus the product must be labeled with? And I think that might solve some of the real estate issues with the size of an actual label. In the phrasing of that, and that could also be maybe what board member Kirkbride is, trying to flesh out is, is somebody gonna understand what that means by the label that's kind of what kind of dawned upon me is a lot of times I think folks do use auxiliary labels. But when the plain language of this current rule would make you think that you have to do something within that product name, which I get can be really tricky. So that would be my suggestion, is to have something, maybe not here because this is, I don't know where you could put it, but that would be my suggestion for this particular one.
Look, some suggestions, board member Kroger.
Does anyone else have any, expand on anything or clarify anything on this section?
Board Member Patel, I know there was discussion and comments. I think I had to go back to all my notes 2 years ago. Give more comments next time, but I'm now it's okay.
Board member Kroger, the only other thing to add is we feel really good that these additional requirements are not already part of the USP standards for labeling of a compounded product. That's the one thing that I'm like, if it's already in there,
I think we do.
that kind of goes against what I just said before, but you know what I'm saying? Like, too many places to look is where I think we're gonna have inconsistency in execution ultimately.
Yeah, miss anyone? Anyone? All right,
Okay.
do you have enough, this section, Gary?
Next section.
Executive Director Running, yes, more than enough there. Part of which we can carry forward to a parallel rule. It's 410 in Division 183. It's compounded sterile preparations. Again, there's the effective date for your deliberation, and then reading the rule in addition to the labeling requirements specified in USP 797, version 11.1/2022, and all the various OARs. The label of CSP must prominently and legibly contain the following at a minimum. Number one, the strength of each active ingredient to include the identity of the base solution for sterile parenteral preparations. Number two, the route of administration. Number three, rate of infusion or titration parameters for a sterile parenteral preparation. Number four, indication that the preparation is compounded. Number five, handling, storage, or drug-specific instructions, cautionary information, and warnings as necessary or appropriate for proper use and patient safety. And six, compounding facility name and contact information if the CSP is to be sent outside of the facility or healthcare system in which it was compounded. President Joyce, I'll turn it back to you.
All right, I'll start off this discussion with, Board Member Pineda.
Board member Pinedo. Nothing to add.
Board Member Joyce, this is what we have on the labels that I see that are IV or CSP compounded. In terms of like oncology meds or high risk medications, a paralytic or a chemo. I mean, I guess that would be handled by line para 5, cautionary information warnings as necessary for proper use and patient safety. I mean, this is already takes up a lot of room, because I was also thinking of like disposal information, like, I guess that's post pharmacy maybe. Like, I just want it to be obvious that a medication would be considered a high risk if infiltrated or if the bag is torn or something to that effect. I think there's already patient safety labeling requirements as far as making sure handlers of the medication, IV medication are knowledgeable of the risk of the medication that they have. I'll pass it on. Board Member Chin.
Board Member Chin has nothing to add for this one, thank you.
Patel.
Board member, but nothing to add, but I just want to make a comment. Yes, board member Smith, you are right. It is FDA requirement and it has to be indicated on the label that this medication is compounded because it is not FDA approved. I don't get that.
Board Member Kroger.
No additional comments. I think the ones I said before kind of apply in this section as well, but.
Member Smith.
No additional comments.
Member Hall.
Remember how, preparing one, the strength and name, I guess. And then the other one, although now it says identity of the base pollution, but I don't know, different. We want the name on there. And then, in 5, are we assuming that, auxiliary labels are part of labeling or is it the label? That was my question. Or auxiliary labels. Of label.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was alluding to. Additional labeling, auxiliary labeling, is that, I'm not really seeing that on here. I know there's the proper use and patient safety, but what about, safety of staff that's handling the IV medication that's been compounded? Nothing alluding to that.
That's room temp.
Right?
Usually it's
Temperature.
labeled refrigerated. Temps, I don't know if we always have the room temp sticker on every single thing, but I would require it.
Yeah, handling storage, drug specific instructions. Yeah. Paper. Board Member Kirkbride.
I don't have anything additional. I do think all of our comments from the last section apply here too. So making sure we are not being duplicative, making sure we are all on the same page. What is the label? What physically is the space of the label and how we word that? I think that was a great point brought up by Board Member Kroger, but I don't have anything additional to add.
I start off with Board Member Pinedo. Any additional comments on this particular section? I guess the main concerns that were brought up was auxiliary labeling by Board Member Hall. The other? Go ahead.
Executive Director Runyon. So obviously staff will have fun kind of wordsmithing this to reflect board intent. And just for entertainment at this point in time, one potential solution, until I say it out loud and tell me all the reasons why it's a terrible idea, that we could use to kind of encompass all of the intent here would be something like the labeling of a CSP must prominently and legibly include the following at minimum. So it might address those differences between what is the label versus what are we labeling the product with, and an auxiliary label would be kind of included in that lump in the labeling as opposed to just one label. Obviously, we
Right.
can wordsmith that, but that would be.
The auxiliary labeling that would indicate high risk medication. I don't know if that's, you know. I think that should be in rules, right? I mean. Something that tells the person handling the medication that this is a high risk medication. Or, you know, is a paralytic or a risk if infiltrated or if you know, just regarding what should be on a compounded medication bag. You said it well. You.
Okay, Executive Director Ronnie will move on to section 183.0420. The labeling for batch preparation, and we have the effective date up top. And I'll read the rule. The label of a CNSP and CSP that is prepared in anticipation of a patient-specific prescription must contain the following. Number one, the name, strength, or concentration and quantity of each active ingredient used in the compounded drug preparation. Number two, the total quantity or volume of the compounded drug preparation. Number three, internal lot number. Four, the assigned beyond use date or BUD. Number five, indication that the preparation is compounded. And six, handling, storage, or drug-specific instructions, cautionary information, and warnings as necessary. President Joyce, I turn it back to you.
All right, so I'll go and start first. This is, you know, standard for batch labeling. I don't see anything that is too much or that is not clear. Me, this seems like standard stuff. Board Member Chen,
Member Chin, nothing further to add?
Board Member Patel, Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Kroger, so I assume that batch preparation labeling requirements are not addressed in USP. This my assumption with this, how it's written. Because the BUD was not listed for the other two, which I really, that's a thing too now, BUD. It's on batch.
Yeah, because this is board member Patel. So when you make a batch, so you, I mean, when you make a batch preparation, then you have to write down BUD because then you're going to use for the future prescription. So those labeling is like prescription specific. This one is non-prescription specific, like you can even make the stock solution and then you're going to make the compound. So you have to have a BUD on the batch prescription. With that said, any compounding prescription, you can write down BUD use date, nothing wrong. But the batch is different than those two labeling because those are prescription specific. This is the batch.
But the beyond use date for a patient specific compounded product does not require a BUD.
Usually you can write down as expiration date too.
And that's addressed in USP, I assume.
Remember that one, but I do remember that usually you write, and well, best practice we follow, which is like we write down beyond use dates for any compounded prescription, or you can also, it can count as expiration date too. But with the batch, you definitely have the beyond use date.
No further comments. I think you probably are all grateful I don't compound. So.
And I do believe it is in USP. I do believe it is.
Yeah, I think just my train of thought is within these three sections. I'm confused. I'm just confused as to like what's required. Where's the USP references? Like this should be real, to me, this should be so simple. What's required on a compounded products label? Here it is. And reading these, I'm not feeling so great about. And I think the experts are probably more well-versed in knowing exactly when you put a BUD and use it or not use it or expiration date, what have you. But it makes me feel uneasy when you're looking at the rules as is, it's too complicated and I don't think it needs to be, is kind of, I think where can't even formulate questions or suggestions at this point. So that's all I have on this. Nothing further.
Or Smith?
Member Smith, I think we're the first two, like with the sterile preparations and the non-sterile preparations. I think the idea is that there's already other like kind of rules on the book that deal with labels specifically. Whereas the batches are kind of in this unique to their own situation. I think that's why there's a little bit different wording with what's required on the batch label versus a prescription like the other two operations. That's all.
Hall.
Member Hall, yeah, I just was wondering, is it always a BUD or would we include or expiration? No. Is it always BUD when we're repackaging? I thought sometimes it was expiration. Different.
Or Member Patel, because the expiration date is, when you do compound, right? Let's say if you are using 3 ingredient for the compound, and those 3 ingredients, they are going to have different expiration date. And when you mix it together, then it's going to be different beyond use date. Not, if you put expiration, in a way, yes, I can agree, like beyond use days or expiration is both same, but then its expiration date, like it can be confusing. That's my understanding. So they were like, you have expiration date for all the 3 ingredients, they have their own expiration date, like which is by manufacturer expiration date. And when you combine together all the 3 to make it compound, then it's going to be a beyond use date.
So sometimes we give things an expiration date and that's,
You can, I'm
it's
not,
done, BUD, you can actually like use it. And it's good once it's on the patient. Needs to be hung. For instance, the patient on a BUD, but if it's expiration, you can't use it at all after that time.
so I thought beyond use date, you cannot use it. Beyond use date is 14 days, and you cannot use under 15 days. Or maybe I misunderstood. Yeah, I'm sorry. The compounding medication.
It's
Well,
not,
that
it's not easy to understand and we struggled with it ourselves.
Well, I'll just go around before I comment. But was that your
I
concern?
had,
Board member, Kirkbride?
I don't have any additional concerns besides what has been stated.
And board member Pinero?
Board member Pinedo, nothing to add.
Board President Joyce? Board member Hall, are you like alluding to like batches of Vanco or antibiotics? You make a batch and then, several ingredients mixed in, or there's Vanco and saline or D5, whatever it is. And then you label it for 14 days. I mean, that would be the BUD. And then it goes up to a patient. If it's not used, it comes back. And
maybe I'm thinking, because we don't batch as much stuff as we used to, but so if it's patient specific,
right.
sometimes we do give BUD versus expiration.
So how do you define the difference? Because I would think the other way around. If you're making a patient specific medication, you put an expiration date. If you're batching multiple meds, then that would be beyond use date. They're almost interchangeable. I mean, beyond
They're
use
not,
date, but
they're not.
I mean, so
I think we just need to do a little research on that.
yeah.
This is board member Patel. To me, like expiration date on, let's say Vanco, right? It has their own manufacturer expiration date, right?
Post mix.
Yeah, post mix. And when you just start, make the vancomycin IV, then it's going to be beyond use date.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I think it.
Very good, yeah. That clears it up, right?
Because in the vial of that vancomycin powder, it can be manufacturer expiration date.
It's been altered.
Yeah, and once you inject in the solution, NaCl, then beyond use date, you can't use it, even though your manufacturer expiration date is for polio. That's how I understand.
Yeah, Councilmember Hall, that makes sense, but some things we compound get a BUD and some things we compound get an expiration. And for in a hospital setting, a BUD means it can be hung on the patient by that date and time, and it's still good.
But it's BUD because it's been mixed with multiple products as opposed to,
It's basically it's compounded. At that point, you alter, mix, whatever the definition of the compounding is, then the manufacturer send you in that unaltered, adulterated form.
Member Kroger.
I guess I was just gonna go back to, this is the one part of these, this little labeling section that does not say in addition to USP standards. So does USP not address batch preparations and that's what I'm curious about.
Or remember, they got to address that one. And that they have the beyond use date as a labeling requirement, if I recall.
Member Smith.
Yeah, Board Member Smith, I think the expiration date is assigned by the manufacturer and the beyond use date is assigned by the pharmacy.
Yeah, both USP, FDA, they both indicate you have to write down beyond use date if you're going to do batching or anything.
Any additional comments or clarification or the proposals? Back to you, Gary.
Executive Director, and I did notice one additional thing, staff member Melvin, if you could scroll down to number 6. So notice here it says and warnings as necessary, and let's scroll up to number 5 in the previous little. And here it says and warnings as necessary, but it goes further to say or appropriate for proper use and patient safety. So, and that was present in the one prior to this as well. So I don't know if that omission was an error or if it was done intentionally. It seems like those should be consistent between all of these labeling sections, and as much as we're going to keep them as that.
A viral version, it could be.
Okay, we'll move on. To 183-0450, which involves disposal. The drug outlet pharmacy, DIPDO, CF, and CHC must ensure the disposal of hazardous pharmaceutical waste is in accordance with applicable state and federal laws in USP 800, hazardous drugs handling in healthcare settings, version 7/1/2020. President Joyce.
Let's start off with Board Member Chin, this section.
Member Chin is just a little cross-eyed, I'll be fine. Other than that, no comments.
Board Member Patel.
Surprise, surprise, board member Patel has no comment.
Board Member Kroger.
Board Member Kroger, I have a simple suggestion. This should say the disposal of hazardous compounded pharmaceutical waste, since this is in the compounding section. I don't want it to be confused with the non-compounded products that may also be hazardous waste. If there should, I would assume there's a rule on that, but this should be specific to compounding in the compounding division.
Board Member Smith.
Board Member Smith has no comment.
Board Member Hall.
Board Member Hall, no comment.
Board Member Kirkbride.
No comments.
Board Member Pineda.
Board Member Pineda, no comment.
Or Joyce, yeah, I just want to echo board member, Kroger's, comment, for that clarity.
But can I just add one quick?
Oh, go ahead.
So since Board Member Kroger and you comment on do we even need this section? Because we already have the OAR, right? How to dispose the hazardous substance, and why we need this one here then? Seems like duplicated. Any hazardous substance, you're going to dispose according to whatever our OAR is already existed. Doesn't matter whether it's compounded or non-compounded, right? Why we need this in here?
Are there special things for this is board member Chin, are there special things for the hazardous drugs that are in the USP that are not in our other disposable drug thingies? Don't know your rules like you do.
Member Smith, I think there may be different disposals for, like compounds and hazardous waste, and I'm not, I'd have to look into that more, but so I believe there might be some differences and they may be separate.
So what I meant is like, yes, there's different rules for hazardous, but like, does it matter whether it's a compounded hazardous substance versus non-compounded hazardous substance? And I feel like hazardous substances has substance, whether it's compounded, non-compounded, it should be just the same rule.
So that, as board president Joyce, I think actually I'll circle back to your comment, right? Because, the black box, which is the hazardous, trash and, an IV room is both mix of IV bags that have been compounded and vials that have not been compounded or expired pharmaceutical waste that is hazardous that aren't compounded. So I think circling back now, I think this language is okay with me. Hazardous pharmaceutical waste, because, in the hazardous waste and IV rooms, they are mixed, compounded and non-compounded products. Is that sound right, board member Hall? Yeah, and yes. Agreed. So,
This is board member Kirkbride. I think the point is that we don't want it to imply that all hazardous waste in the pharmacy has to be handled according to USP 800. And I think that's what board member Kroger was trying to say, that in this section, we are talking about waste that is generated in the process of compounding, not just waste in the pharmacy, like warfarin.
Hall, did you?
Oh, so. I haven't read all of USD 800, but it says handling, so I thought it included, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the disposal is the EPA and the other side of it. The handling during compounding is the confusion.
So board member Kroger, in 855-041, the outlet policies and procedures, at minimum must include disposal of drugs or devices, including hazardous and pharmaceutical waste. If we are, this rule to me, now we're referencing USP 800. Right now, it could be interpreted that could be any hazardous product, not just a compounded hazardous product. So if we want to require USP, I'm not saying this is where we want to go, but then that would need to, if I'm not doing compounding, I'm not going to look in here for what I'm required to do to dispose of a non-compounded product that happens to be hazardous. Right? So I think that's where just the clarity on this particular rule, the debate on whether or not it needs to exist in here, we can have that at another time. But this particular rule should just be very clear that this applies to hazardous compounded waste.
Section.
In this division, because this is the compounding division.
Okay. Therefore, it may not need to exist at all.
That's for another day. This is the day.
2 years we've been saying that.
I think for this one, it to be as clear as we need to be, this particular rule for disposal is addressing compounded products. Therefore, the language should say that this is the disposal of hazardous compounded pharmaceutical waste applicable to USP 800 or whatever. So,
Any other comments or otherwise back to you, Gary?
Thank you. It's Executive Director Runyon. We'll move on to section 1830500. Let's go ahead and read the rules first. Each drug outlet pharmacy, DIPDO, CF, and CHC must establish, maintain, and enforce policies and procedures in accordance with the standards required in OAR 855-183-0200 for all aspects of the compounding operation according to the type of compounding performed. And must include written procedures for the following. Number one, personnel qualifications to include training and ongoing competency assessment. Number two, hand hygiene. Number three, garbing. 4, engineering and environmental controls to include equipment certification and calibration, air and surface sampling, and viable particles. 5, cleaning activities to include sanitizing and disinfecting, including those compounding personnel and other staff responsible for cleaning. 6, components to include selection, receipt, handling, storage, and disposal. 7, creating master formulation records with documented approval by a pharmacist for a drug outlet pharmacy or prescriber with prescribing dispensing privileges for a DIPDO, CF, or CHC. 8, creating compounding records. 9, establishing BUDs. 10, labeling. 11, continuous quality assurance program and quality controls to include A, release testing and end product evaluation and quantitative or qualitative testing. B, complaint handling process. C, adverse event and error reporting process. And D, recall procedures. And finally, 12, completed compounded preparations to include handling, packaging, storage, and transport. President Joyce, over to you.
All right. Patel. Your turn.
Remember Patel. Don't have any comment. I mean, I know there was discussion about that number 4. No, I don't have any comment right now.
Remember Kroger.
Board Member Kroger, so this rule is saying that the standards required in OAR 855-183-0200 is the USP standards. So we're playing double scavenger hunt here. I don't know why we're not just saying USP standards, why we're referencing the rule that references USP standards. That's a little confusing to me why it's that way. I understand there was a ton of work put into this, and I hope that none of my critiques, criticisms, or questions, they're not meant to, diminish the work that was already done by any means, but it's just as I wrap my head around it personally, because I was my first time as a board member really going through these. So that kind of stuck out to me. For Kern 1, the training and ongoing competency assessments. Earlier in the rule, we talked about ongoing training, but now we've got assessments here later in the rule to me, it just needs to be cleaned up. Like, what are we expecting out of the training education and, continuing, assessments have been included here. I think maybe, current 4 around the surface sampling, I think there is potential concerns around written procedures for surface sampling. Is this required for? There isn't an exact science on surface sampling. I think there's various companies out there, the science is out, and if it's accurate, things like that. So I think that's maybe what you perhaps were thinking of, Board Member Patel. And does it well, I guess they're also saying like, hey, the written procedures must reflect the type of compounding. So I guess I'm okay with that. I wonder, is this a duplication of what is in USP? And if yes, then why is it here? And if no, which components of the rest of this rule are not part of USP? Because I'd like to understand and then be able to go back into the history and understand why, a certain part was added that wasn't already addressed in USP. Would be kind of my final comment on this particular section, because I think a lot of this is addressed in USP, the hand hygiene, the guardian, I believe. So why I don't understand why it's repeated in here if we're just going to end up ultimately referencing USP. So. Thank you.
Good. Board Member Smith.
Board Member Smith has no further comments at this time.
Member Hall.
I still need to go back and clarify with myself. BUD and expiration, that's there in 9. 11A. Police testing and product evaluation and qualitative testing. Cool.
Yeah.
I just want to know what that looks like practically and expectation, because that sounds like a lot.
Board Member Patel, just a quick comment. You're right. So there was robust discussion and I also asked the question on that. And I think that one is usually not for the 503A, usually is a 503B with a good manufacturing practice, and that's what they kind of have it. We just write it down, and I did question that, and it was robust, and you are absolutely right. That is also like absolutely unnecessary. If you ask me, so many things here is unnecessary, and I agree with Board Member Kroger that is USP. Either we have to pick one, either USP, either we write our own rules and. So,
And then 12. Needed compound preparations to handling, packaging, storage, and transport. So I don't know what transport procedure you want, unless it's, I could see for hazardous drugs, but transport for everything. You know, procedure for that. That seems necessary, but I'm missing something on that one. That's it.
Member Church.
My comments are, similar to what others have expressed. This appears to have come straight out of our current rule in Division 45. Like a lot of the language is word for word. So I guess thinking critically, do we still need, this big long section if we are referring multiple times to following USP earlier in the different rules? So it doesn't appear to have changed much from our current rules 0220. So, could it be streamlined? And I don't know the answer to that because I don't work in this space.
Member Pineda.
Board Member Pinedo, nothing to add.
As Board President Joyce, It does look like a lot of this is already in USB, almost verbatim, the requirements, the testing, the garbing, it's all spelled out in USB 797. Already. Hand hygiene, all this stuff. I think, I don't know, visually, I wish there was some way to see straight from USB what was edited by work group, or what was added by us. I mean, I wish that, because like, I'm seeing a lot of stuff already in USB and so it makes it a little bit confusing, as to what, changes we are proposing, what is already practice per USB. So that's where I'm at, with looking at this section. Board Member Chin.
Jen has nothing to add.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So, yeah, remember how you bring up the good one, and I asked that time too, what that release tasting and quantitative and qualitative tasting, what do you expect from licensee, like what that even mean? And I did not get the answer. Okay. Because I really don't know. And I think that is all, that 503B, not the 503A kind of requirement. Anyway, with this section, didn't need a lot of work, or there's so many things we had to, it does not make sense for the in-state facilities not even applied to them.
Question for staff. We do have a public speaker at 3. Is that for
Staff member moment, public comment usually
Comment.
occurs between 3:45 and 4 PM.
okay, can we take a break now? Does that sound,
Yeah, whatever.
you guys are okay with break at 2:45? Like, yes, okay. So, unanimous. Let's take a 10-minute break. Okay? All right. We're running on fumes, some of us here.